Today was definitely one of those mornings that we haven't experienced in a very long time. I haven't experienced it in a very long time, especially on this journey with my son on the autism spectrum. I genuinely didn't know what he wanted. Over the years, I've tried to, figure things out. As he grew older, I got to understand what he wants. But it started a bit since last night. I genuinely couldn't figure out what he wanted. And then he woke up with the same tantrum and all of that. And I tried and I tried and I tried and I just gave up. And in the middle of it, something else happened. He came to me, he saw my face, he saw that I was tired. And he said, "Don't make mama sad." Yes, he literally said that. And I didn't expect that. That's the first time I hear him say something like that. But I knew he must have heard it somewhere. And so I asked the sisters, they are the ones who always help me figure out these things, that, have you heard this before? Where do you think you must have heard it from? And my daughter said, oh yes, she's heard it before on one of the programs he he likes to watch during his screen time on weekends, and he's heard that phrase come up before. And so really when I heard him say, "Don't make mama sad," I felt the weight of his words, and I know he meant it. He normally doesn't like to see me sad, and the fact that he knew the right thing to say, even though he heard it only from watching from something, from a TV show, or it was also something that got me thinking. And I have a lot of things that I picked up from this little incident here. I know I like to zoom in on incidents like this when they happen and pick lessons. This is how I live my life. But I was not looking at the impact of screen. As much as we try to say, this is the number one thing, first of all, as much as we try to say screen is bad, I've seen this often a number of times. Yes, we have a lot of challenges with him and his obsession with screen and all of that, but I've also seen him use those same words in the appropriate way. He's not just using it like he used to do. Back when he was little, he wasn't using them. It was just echolalia, repeating things. But the fact that lately I've seen him more often than usual using screen lines from the TV in real life, to communicate in real life. And to me, that's huge. The fact that he can connect it and say something, "Don't make mama sad," it was powerful for me. Then secondly, I also look at how much he's trying. I can see that he's overwhelmed. He's going through, throwing the tantrum and all of that. Even though it seems like a burden, like a lot of stress for me, he's also trying to show me that, mommy, I don't mean to do this. I wish I could do better, but I can't control it. I think this was the unspoken things that I heard from what my son said today, and it meant a lot to me, because on the real sense, he didn't know how to explain what was going on. And I know a lot was going on in his mind today, but he didn't have the words for it. And that's really something. On this journey, sometimes we celebrate a lot of wins. I come online, I celebrate a lot of wins. And on that same day or the next day, just like, you also celebrate, you also face challenges. In fact, we face challenges almost every day. But I'm still grateful for those wins. And another thing is the fact that, yes, there's always challenges. I still always trying ways to see positives in these challenges. Like something like, the incident that happened today. There's a sweet moment in it, and there's also that, really challenging moment in there. I feel it's really painful, sometimes when you see your child going through something and they genuinely want to explain themselves, but they are unable to because they do not have the words. And I imagine so many things he's going to have to face in his life and all of that, and then people won't understand him because he doesn't have the word. I know he's getting better. I'm glad he is. But there's a lot of things that I'm sharing this for. I believe there's quite a number of lessons here. I know there's a lot of lessons here, and I always share because I know that someone else might see even beyond what I'm seeing. So, but the main thing is this: being an autism parent, we do go through this roller coaster emotions, but the wins for me still stands. I always make sure the wins take over any situation, and I'm holding on to these wins. Hearing him say, "Mama, don't be sad," it's huge for me, and I believe that we'll all get through this phase one way or the other time. As to the reason why he's like this, I was able to communicate with his teacher. I informed her immediately. I dropped him off to inform her that, you know, he's about his emotional well-being and, you know, everything that happened. And she reached back to me to let me know that he was calm. Yes, he had a little bit of issues and in the beginning, but he's now calm and he's really doing everything well. I also asked to investigate if anything happened yesterday during his swimming lessons, and the response also came back that everything was normal. He followed instructions and everything was perfect. So I have another conclusion as to in my mind as to why he was this way today. We're going through a little bit of changes around the house. He can sense that there's some preparations going on, and I know that he's also noticing that school is about to close. He can sense it through the activities that is you know, so I think he's already feeling like less motivated to go to school. But I knew he had to go to school today because I had a lot of errands and there was no one to stay at home with him. I would, if I had the option, he would have stayed at home. But I'm glad he's calm now. Everything is fine. But I just wanted to share this with us. I hope that you find something to take away from this, and I would love to hear what you have to share about this. Do enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye.